The process of gathering information that would feed in. The reason I'm asking is we have to nominate the board of considering. So I was wondering if you would want us to put your name.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of my co-chair, Ms. Anuradha Bakshi, Principal Legal Officer of the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, ALCO, it is my pleasure to share this podium with you at the opening ceremony of the ICRC ALCO workshop on international humanitarian law.
A very good morning to everyone. Before we begin with the proceedings of introducing everyone and the subject, I would kindly request the ambassadors of Iceland and Sri Lanka to please come to the podium.
Professor Rahmat Mohammed, Secretary General of the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, Their Excellencies, Ambassador Gudmundur Eriksson, Ambassador of Iceland, His Excellency Prasad Karyaswamy, High Commissioner of Sri Lanka, the Honorable Mr. Palitha Fernando, Attorney General of Sri Lanka, Ms. Mary Wurst, Head of the International Committee of the Red Cross Regional Delegation for India, Bhutan and the Maldives, Your Excellencies, Heads of international organizations and representatives of international organizations, colleagues of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement, distinguished professors, representatives of ALCO member states and observers of other states in today's session, distinguished professors, academics, students, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Today's joint session on international humanitarian law is yet another step which the ICRC undertakes working hand in hand with the ALCO Secretariat. In 2002, the ALCO Secretariat and ICRC codified its long-standing relationship of collaboration in respect of the promotion, dissemination, and even development of public international law generally and international humanitarian law specifically. Having many an opportunity to present the ICRC's views at the annual session of ALCO over the years, as well as to coordinate joint workshops, roundtable discussions, and even teaching sessions on international humanitarian law, it is indeed our pleasure this morning to share this opening ceremony with you on yet another step towards a better, more comprehensive appreciation of international humanitarian law. Ladies and gentlemen, it is no surprise that armed conflicts continue to exist in many regions which we find ourselves as states and individuals. In addition, there is perhaps one common binding force of all persons present in this room this morning. From an official capacity, we are perhaps from a state which is a state party to the Geneva Conventions. And so, on this note, I wish to recall that states are entrusted with the duty to respect and ensure respect for international humanitarian law. We acknowledge the role of ALCO as a regional, as an international organization which appreciates such legal obligation, and thank the ALCO Secretariat once again for living the object and purpose of the cooperation agreement which we share, but more so a common ideal of the promotion and appreciation of international humanitarian law.
Thank you, Charles. I would just like to say a few words about the relevance of this workshop and why it's important to keep taking up this issue again and again. We've had many conferences and seminars in the past, but the need today is more important than ever before because of the new technological developments that are taking in international humanitarian law and in the way that war is being conducted. A very old Greek fable reminds me of the desire of Irakes to want to fly and to fly very high. So with the help of his father, he developed wings gathering feathers of birds, and he put up a clay, a wax cover onto it so that it could give him wings to fly. Although his father, he told him that please be very careful while you're using this technique, he, as young as a person he was, did not pay heed to that advice, and he flew very close to the sun. And in that process, he perished. From Irakes, we now came to the Wright brothers. The Wright brothers, they developed an aeroplane which for the first time was able to fly only for a minute. Soon after that, after a decade, we came to development of aeroplanes, and we saw what disaster they were able to conduct on the war field when they were actually put to use. Aeroplanes led to drones. Drones are now leading to nanotechnology, and it is leading to many new methods of warfare which are probably inconceivable and which we cannot know that what are going to be the uses and what are going to be the destructive elements of those uses when they are put at force. So as much as we like to develop, as much as science is developing, we have to use our wisdom to see how much of it can be put into actual practice, and we have to all the time keep into mind the ethics and the morals that are supposed to be used. War, unfortunately, is a phenomena which is here and which we do hope will vanish someday, but till the time it doesn't, we have to be very, very cautious in using the new methods that we are developing so rapidly. In this sphere, it is the international humanitarian law and the 4 Geneva Conventions which have laid down the rules that have to be used even while in war. So with this brief introduction, I would invite our Secretary General to please deliver the welcome remarks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Charles, Mrs. Bakshi. Your Excellency Mary Wans, Head of Regional Delegation, International Committee of the Red Cross ICRC, Honorable Attorney General of Sri Lanka, Mr. Palita Fernando, Excellencies Ambassador Erickson and High Commissioner Prasad, distinguished dignitaries, delegates, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning. On behalf of the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, or ALCO, may I take this opportunity to welcome each one of you to this workshop jointly organized with the ICRC Regional Delegation in New Delhi on International Humanitarian Law. It is our great honor and privilege to have among us Her Excellency Mary Wans, Head of Regional Delegation of ICRC in New Delhi, who would be delivering an opening remark for this 2-day workshop on international humanitarian law. On behalf of the member states of ALCO and my behalf, I welcome you, Madam, to this workshop. We are confident that your opening remark would set the tone for productive deliberation during the course of the workshop. The response received from member state of ALCO by deputing their officials to participate in this workshop has been very encouraging. I take this opportunity to warmly welcome each one of the representatives of ALCO member states and participants who are here with us today. And I'm confident that all of you greatly benefit from the proceeding of this workshop. I also welcome Honorable Attorney General of Sri Lanka, Mr. Palita Fernando, for having his time to come to New Delhi despite of his heavy schedule in Sri Lanka. I welcome you, sir. We have met a few years ago, and now I see you again in person in this Secretariat building. Welcome, sir. Namaste, sir. I also welcome other representatives from IGO, delegates, legal experts, academia, and research scholars, some of whom have traveled long distances to participate in this workshop. It is commendable and reaffirmed that even after 150 years of humanitarian action by the ICRC and its partners, there is a desperate need to address new challenges due to the changing nature of armed conflict, be it subject or object of armed conflict. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, the organization has come a long way since its establishment in 1956. From its initial small but vibrant group of 7 founding countries to a strong coalition of 47 countries today. The basic purpose of ALCO is to coordinate the viewpoints of the Asian and African states on important issues in international law that are of common concern to both the continents. The organization gained its status as a permanent body in 1981 and in 2001 was renamed as the Asian African Legal Consultative Organization, or ALCO. In recognition of its growing stature, it enjoys the status of IGO among the international legal fraternity and has been accorded observer status by the United Nations. Deliberation in the organization and resolution adopted by it greatly assist the government of member states to put forward an agreed view of Asian African states on international legal issues. The consultative nature of the organization beholds transparency within the ALCO and also ensures that the voice of Asia and Africa is heard in various international fora. Its close working relation with various other international organizations, it is the evidentiary fact of ALCO contribution towards progressive development and codification of international law. Allow me to recall that ALCO is mandated by its member state to work in close cooperation with the UN and other international organizations. ALCO attaches great importance to the concerns of its member states in relation to issues of human rights and international humanitarian law. In order to solidify the relationship with the ICRC, a formal cooperation was initialized through cooperation agreement between ALCO and ICRC in December 2002 and later was signed in July 2003 in Geneva. The key objective of the cooperation agreement is promotion and development of international humanitarian law. Recognizing the significant contribution of ICRC in the field of IHL, ALCO has ventured into jointly convening various intersessional meetings, special day meetings during ALCO annual sessions, and training program on IHL for the official of its member states. Having said about the ALCO annual session, it is pertinent to highlight the deliberation at the annual session of ALCO, which raises various concerns of member states, especially focusing on challenges faced by developing countries in the field of IHL and its implementation at domestic level. In furtherance of which, ALCO has biannually convened special day meetings jointly with ICRC since 2006 at its plenary meeting in conjunction with its annual session. These topics have been very instrumental in disseminating IHL and addressing its challenges to the member state of ALCO, which were on the relevance of IHL on today's armed conflict during Seoul annual session in 2003, universal jurisdiction and its role in the enforcement of IHL at 2006 annual session, contemporary issues in IHL during 2008 annual session, wherein New Delhi resolution on aspect of IHL was also adopted in conjunction with ALCO 47th annual session, and ICC and its recent development at its 2010 annual session. ALCO attaches great importance to the work of ICRC. To substantiate, I would like to recall that ALCO and ICRC had partnered to convene a conference in December 2005 to mark the publication of the ICRC study on customary international humanitarian law, which witnessed eminent speakers including Judge Viramantri as key speakers. In a recent event hosted by ICRC, the 5th South Asian Regional Conference on IHL in April 2014 in Nepal, ALCO was invited to deliver the keynote address on the topic sexual violence and armed conflict. In the event, it was emphasized that the legal regime on IHL as well as the jurisprudence evolved out of the enactment of ICTY and ICTR manifest two important paradigm shifts in relation to IHL. Firstly, the legal language giving importance to prohibiting sexual violence during armed conflict alongside protecting the victims of such violence. And secondly, the inclusiveness of both the genders within the reach of the law. Among other contemporary challenges faced while implementing IHL are relating to the modernization of weapons due to advanced technological development, the changing nature of conflicts, and the battlefield have been worrisome. It is equally intriguing to decipher the changing nature of armed conflict, place of armed conflict offenses during the armed conflict, methods and means of warfare, and last but not least, the blurring line of distinction of subjects of armed conflict. Such paradigm shifts have not only transcended borders and contours of legality, but also challenges human imaginations to counter their adversities. It is worth reiterating that the conflicts and internal disturbances within the South Asia and African region evidentially requires the issue to be addressed by the international community. ALCO appreciates the efforts of the ICRC in promoting awareness and disseminating IHL. It is with this objective that ALCO has partnered with the ICRC to address the contemporary challenges faced by IHL during armed conflict, which I am sure would be of immense assistance to not only ALCO member states but also to international legal fraternity at large. Once again, I welcome each one of you to this workshop and look forward for an in-depth discussion which would form part of the database for future initiative of the ICRC and its partner organization. On behalf of the Secretariat of ALCO, I am extremely grateful for the support extended by the ICRC regional delegation in New Delhi and the ICRC team towards conducting this workshop in close cooperation with ALCO Secretariat. I thank you.
Your Excellency, thank you very much for the comprehensive overview of ALCO's interest in and renewed commitment to supporting the promotion and dissemination of international humanitarian law. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worth stating that though this event is taking place in New Delhi, both ICRC delegations in every country of your member states, as well as Ministries of Foreign Affairs in its headquarters, are made aware of this two-day session. From the ICRC perspective, we are very encouraged with the support received, and we look forward to this free and frank two-day session of dialogue in the interests of the understanding of and promotion of international humanitarian law. This forum presents an opportunity, much like the 5th South Asian Conference on IHL, to address issues in a decontextualized manner in the interest of promoting the law. And so we look forward to 2 days of fruitful discussion. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome to the podium an individual and colleague who has had a long experience in working with the ICRC, but particularly in many of the countries which are ALCO member states, in different portfolios. And so it's my pleasure to introduce the head of the ICRC Regional Delegation for India, Bhutan and the Maldives to issue some welcome remarks. Ms. Mary Woods.
Good morning, everyone. Professor Rahmat Mohammed, the Secretary General of the Asia African Legal Consultative Organization, ALCO, Your Excellencies, Ambassadors and High Commissioners of ALCO member states and other states, representatives of international organizations, other officials from the ALCO Secretariat, colleagues from the International Committee of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement, members of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to be here today to welcome you. On behalf of the ICRC, it's a pleasure for me, a great pleasure, to deliver opening remarks at this ALCO ICRC workshop on international humanitarian law. The ICRC shares a strong relationship of cooperation and collaboration with the ALCO Secretariat, which was codified in our cooperation agreement signed in December 2002. This institutional relationship is based on the premise that the ICRC, which works towards the promotion, implementation, and integration of international humanitarian law, and ALCO, in its advisory capacity to its member governments in the field of international law, we together find much added value in engaging in close cooperation on legal and other matters of mutual interest. The ICRC cherishes as well a strong relationship with our Red Cross, Red Crescent movement partners. Due to a prior important commitment, Dr. S.P. Agarwal, the Secretary General of the Indian Red Cross Society, could not join us here today. However, in a recent meeting with him, he yet again insisted on the importance of disseminating IHL messages to various government officials, civil servants, the armed forces, and civil society. And he recalled the determination of the Indian Red Cross in disseminating IHL. That this two-day event falls on an important day for the Red Cross, Red Crescent movement is hardly a coincidence. Tomorrow, the global community commemorates World Red Cross, Red Crescent Day, which is the birth anniversary of Henri Dunant, the founder of the ICRC and the first recipient of the Nobel Peace Prize. In 1859, it was this Swiss businessman, Henri Dunant, who, on witnessing the aftermath of the Battle of Solferino in modern-day Italy, recorded his memories and experiences in a book entitled A Memory of Solferino, inspiring the creation of the International Committee of the Red Cross, the ICRC, in 1863, and the adoption of the first Geneva Convention in 1864. Tomorrow, the 8th of May, his birthday, is globally recognized as World Red Cross Red Crescent Day. Since Dunant's account of the Battle of Solferino, the theater of war continues to evolve. What remains constant is that the ICRC's neutral, independent, and impartial humanitarian approach to providing protection and assistance to victims of armed conflict and other situations of violence, as we see today, contexts such as Afghanistan, the Central African Republic, Colombia, Mali, Somalia, South Sudan, Syria, Ukraine, and Yemen are just a few of ICRC's most significant operations today. The ICRC received a strong and clear mandate from states, as enshrined in the Geneva Conventions of 1949, the most widely ratified of all international instruments, to contribute towards the development, implementation, and promotion of IHL. All ALCO member states, as you know, are party to the Geneva Conventions and have therefore undertaken to respect and ensure respect for IHL. Civilians are the most affected in today's armed conflicts. The Geneva Conventions, their additional protocols, and other IHL-related instruments aim to protect persons who do not or no longer participate in hostilities. In particular, special protection must be afforded to women, children, and displaced persons. Under IHL, the parties to a conflict must allow unimpeded humanitarian access to civilians in need. They must also respect the right of all persons who are wounded or sick, whether or not they participate in hostilities, to receive medical attention with the least possible delay. In addition, and as we recently discussed at the ICRC's 5th South Asian Conference on IHL, which was held in collaboration with the government of Nepal in Kathmandu just last month, there are other elements to an armed conflict which affect the civilian population and even participants in hostilities. I use this opportunity to remind everyone of the effects of sexual violence on women, men, boys, and girls, and its damaging consequences on families and the wider community. At this juncture, and as mentioned by the ALCO Secretary General, we wish to recognize and to thank the ALCO Secretariat for its participation in the 5th South Asian IHL Conference in Kathmandu and its delivery of an acclaimed keynote address at the conference's inaugural session. Ladies and gentlemen, to prevent violations of IHL norms, states are invited to contribute to the universal ratification of all IHL treaties and to secure their full and extensive implementation at the national level through the adoption of relevant legislation and other administrative and practical measures, as well as dissemination to the armed forces. Take, for example, current situations of armed conflict in the world today. Ask yourself, how from a legal perspective is IHL applicable, if at all? Who are the actors involved in these contexts? Are there only government forces, or are there also non-state actors? Are the laws of war, or IHL, implemented in national legislation? And is the law enough? What about our armed forces' operational doctrines? What about respect for IHL by non-state actors? How does international law, be it treaty law, custom, or case law, address these phenomena? Let us further consider the changing landscape in conflict and its implications for the development of IHL. To what extent have advancements in technology affected front lines? Is this a positive or a negative development? In particular, what about the notion of cyber warfare and the application of IHL norms and principles to cyber warfare? These are all real and practical concerns on today's battlefields, which need to be legally understood, debated, and contextually analyzed. Over the next day and a half, we hope to address these and other issues in a decontextualized, yet legally enriching fashion. States may rightly complain that competing priorities and few resources create a challenge for IHL implementation. However, IHL violations and other international crimes create unwarranted and avoidable human suffering and must therefore be addressed by the global community. This is our collective responsibility to humanity. ALCO member states, like all other states, must meet their humanitarian obligations, contribute to the development processes of such norms, and implement treaties they have ratified. This involves lawmaking, defining procedures, providing mechanisms which promote the implementation of IHL, developing educational programs, and amending military doctrine, to name a few. The ICRC acknowledges its own role as the guardian of IHL and looks forward to its continued engagement with ALCO member states in 3 focus areas. First, consultations relating to the strengthening of IHL in situations of non-international armed conflict. Second, maintaining respect for the Red Cross, Red Crescent emblem and humanitarian relief personnel. And third, responding to humanitarian needs arising from sexual violence in armed conflict and working towards the repression of such acts. We thank you, the ALCO Secretariat and its member states, for your commitment and support towards fulfilling these humanitarian obligations. we fondly recall our previous collaboration, our coordination of a seminar in 2000 on IHL with ALCO, a conference on customary IHL, again with ALCO, but in 2005, and in 2011, the ICRC ALCO 5-day training program on IHL, in which 48 officials from 23 countries participated here in Delhi. And of course, the ICRC remains grateful to the ALCO Secretariat and Member States for the invitation to participate regularly in the ALCO annual sessions and the special meetings. In a similar manner, the ICRC looks forward to its upcoming regional events, which shall undertake to collaborate with governmental authorities of several ALCO member states. Here I refer specifically to the coordination of the South Asian teaching session on IHL, which shall be held in Colombo on the 26th to the 31st of May this year, together with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sri Lanka. Ladies and gentlemen, this event represents yet another milestone in our collaboration towards disseminating, promoting, and implementing legal norms and related principles for those affected by armed conflict. I thank you for your presence, for your participation, and I wish you fruitful dialogue in this workshop. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam, for that very, very thought-provoking introductory remarks. And I'm sure that each one of us would have got a bird's eye view of what we are to deliberate during the coming 1.5 days. As we have some time at hand, and the aim of this workshop is not only to know about international humanitarian law, it is also a bit about knowing each other. So in this regard, if everyone is willing, could we take 30 seconds to please introduce ourselves briefly so that we know each other? Could we start from here, please? Yeah, you can use the mic.
Yeah, good morning everybody. I am Subhradipta Sarkar. I am an assistant professor from ITM University Law School, Gurgaon.
Thank you.
My name is Zamir Anwar. I am a student of ISIL, Indian Society of International Law.
Salam al-Battashi, Deputy Head of Mission, Oman Embassy.
Hasib Mohammed, Trinidad and Tobago High Commission, New Delhi.
My name is Narendra. I am a student of ISIL.
My name is Isam Omar, Libyan Embassy.
I'm Bhavesh Kadagar, OD Manager with the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, South Asia Office.
Good morning everyone, my name is Ediwa Royo, I'm from Indonesian Embassy.
Good morning, my name is Novianti Nirmala, I'm Second Secretary, Indonesian Embassy.
Good morning everyone, I'm Solomon Kobie, Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Ghana, the Legal Bureau.
Good morning everyone, I am Azri, I'm from the Brunei High Commission.
Good morning to everyone. I am Vinay Kumar Singh. I am from Indian Society of British Law.
Good morning everyone. My name is Audu from the Nigerian High Commission.
Very good morning. My name is Wael Fathi. I am the First Secretary of Embassy of Egypt.
Hi everyone. I am Hina Basharat from the University of Kashmir.
Good morning. Yannick Reichenau of the Embassy of Switzerland.
Good morning everyone, I am Tanya Malik and I am teaching at University of Delhi.
Good morning everyone, I'm Dr. Ajam, Legal Counselor with Iranian Embassy.
Good morning everyone, I am Safiullah Dilawar from Afghanistan Embassy.
Good morning, My name is Mark Reynolds. I'm Councillor Political at the South African High Commission in New Delhi.
Good morning, everyone. This is P.K. Gupta. I'm a student of ISLN.
Namaste. Myself Gauri Shankar Dubey. After retirement from Steel Authority as Executive Engineer, I am a student of Indian Society of International Law, Delhi, for human rights, international humanitarian law and refugee law. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kadiravan. I am a student from ITM Law School, Gurgaon.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Javin Pillay from the Mauritius High Commission, New Delhi.
Morning, everyone. Arif Ali from the Malaysian High Commission.
Good morning and Assalamu alaikum. My name is Shah Ahmed Shofi, Political Counselor, High Commission for Bangladesh. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Vasundhara, research scholar from ITM University, Gurgaon, and the subject of my research is child rights in India. Thank you.
Good morning everyone, I'm a research scholar, Meenakshi Deswal from ITM University.
Good morning, I'm Anjali Prabhakaran from the Indian Law Institute, New Delhi.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Yem Nesu from Embassy of Myanmar.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a counselor. I'm Mr. Zhao Rangwen from Embassy of Myanmar.
Good morning, Aisha Yasin, political counselor from Pakistan High Commission.
My name is Malika Arati, Minister Councillor, Sri Lanka High Commission.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kalyani Jaisekar from South Asian University.
Good morning everyone, I'm Ildi Prabha I'm a student of South Asian University.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Manish Jaiswal. I'm a student of Galgodiya University.
Good morning, everyone. Namaskar. I'm the student of Galgodiya University, Shivali Srivastava.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ram Ganesh from Galgodiya University. I am a student and as a law student.
Good morning, everyone. I am Ashirwad. I work for the International Committee of Red Cross.
Good morning, I am Ashish Bhatia, Communication Officer for ICRC New Delhi.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dominique Maturi, International Committee of the Red Cross, working in close cooperation with the Indian Red Cross Society.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Dr. Shailin Sharma, representing Indian Red Cross Society.
Good morning, I'm Lloyd Gillette. I'm the regional delegate to the Armed and Security Forces in the New Delhi regional delegation.
Good morning, friends. I'm UC Jha. I'm a free man.
Namaste. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I'm from Vietnam. My name is Bao. I'm from Vietnam Embassy and I'm counselor in charge of economic affairs. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Samuel Marie Fanon from the European Union delegation and working for the Humanitarian Aid Department for South Asia.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Ritu Tindro. I'm a lawyer as well as a research scholar at ITM Law School.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Pari. I'm a student from Jindal Global Law School.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jhalak Agarwal. I'm pursuing law from Hidayatullah National University, Raipur, and I'm an intern here at ALCO.
Good morning. Name is Fen, Deputy Secretary General of ALCO.
Good morning to all. I'm Anshuman from ITM Law School, Gurgaon. Good morning, everybody. I'm Pandiraj, part of the ALCO Secretary.
I'm Shanu Narayan, Legal Officer at ALCO Secretary.
I'm Parthan, also Legal Officer, ALCO.
Good morning. I'm Bharat Thakral from ITM Law School, Gurgaon.
I'm Ramohan from Delhi.
Good morning, I'm Geeta from Galgodiya University.
Ninoy from Amity University.
Good morning, Rajiv Sadana from ICRC.
Good morning, Supriya Rao, Legal Advisor, ICRC.
Good morning, my name is Judith. I'm political counselor at High Commission.
Good morning, Dr. Anuradha, Legal Advisor, ICRC.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Surinder Oberoi, journalist from Kashmir.
but presently working for the communication department for International Community of Red Cross here based in Delhi.
Good morning, I'm Sunil Jacob and I'm working as a legal advisor with the ICS. Good morning everyone, my name is Peter from ITM.
Distinguished members of the head table, ladies and gentlemen, you would agree with us that there is certainly a wealth of knowledge and perspectives in this room. We thank you for your presence and look forward to our collaboration over the 2 days. Before handing the mic to my friend Ms. Bakshi, I wish to renew the invitation of the ALCO Secretariat and ICRC to you and to your missions in both capacities to attend tomorrow's social gathering from 7:30 p.m. onwards at the Claridge's Hotel in commemoration of World Red Cross Red Crescent Day. We look forward to your participation here as well as your presence tomorrow evening. Ms. Bakshi.
Thank you so much to everyone for introducing themselves, and I think that has broken the ice and we can now interact more freely with each other during the coffee break. So before we break for coffee, which is, I think we are 30 minutes ahead of schedule, we'll gather outside on the stairs for a group photograph. After that we'll have coffee and we can reassemble in this hall at 11:15. Thank you so much.
We saw your message last time. It was busy.
Okay, we go up. Yeah, okay. Hi, sir. चलिए पहले आप सर
Hi.
I was so he insisted. He's gone back, I think.